Join us now to discuss the results. Pollster and political strategist Frank Luntz, the newly hirsute Frank Luntz. Wow, look at you go. Look, is that a cool millennial beard, or is that more of a forefather's beard? Which are you trying to?
I don't know how to describe it, but I got to make one comment to Lloyd Blankfein. Please kill your Twitter account.
Delete your account.
It is not a good look when a billionaire is fighting with either Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders. The business community needs to understand that this is a direct threat to your bottom line. This is a direct threat to your income, and it doesn't help you at all if you're going to make tweets like that actually give Sanders ammunition to run ads against you, to attack you from the stage. Your tweet will be seen by thousands of people. Bernie Sanders will be heard by millions.
That was going to be my first question to you, because this is such a weird election season that we're in. What's more likely, a Republican voting for a socialist or a Democrat voting for a billionaire?
Well, that's the challenge for Mike Bloomberg right now, is that he is gaining and gaining and gaining. Every single week he's going up a couple percent. By the time we get to Super Tuesday, he will be over that 15% threshold to get him, to earn him some of those delegates. And you could actually see a battle 1 month from now between the three Bs, Buttigieg, Bernie, and Bloomberg over the soul of the Democratic Party.
That's what's happened. And it's split down the middle. We're seeing that right now, I think. And I think that's exactly right. Those are the three.
Well, two things here. Number one is we got to see, does Mike Bloomberg enter the debates? I'm told that he will, as recently as next week in Nevada. How well does he perform? I bring your viewers back to Rick Perry, who was surging against Mitt Romney back in 2012, gaining 5 points a week. He then participates in the debate, does very badly, and his campaign goes to hell in a matter of days. Bloomberg's, the expectations from him will be incredibly high. And remember, he does not really start to compete until March 3rd. So he could turn down these two debates that are coming up next week and the week after.
I actually think he forgot the agency that he ended up running, too, which was the ultimate irony. Remember, he was going to close down three of them, and I think he forgot. He forgot energy, and then he ran. Energy. Bernie, I mean, Biden, God, I don't know what to tell you about. But when you said three Bs, you didn't say four Bs. I noticed that. But Biden, I don't know what happened. But Bernie won 60% last time. He only got 27% this time, didn't he? In New Hampshire, that's not, I mean, that's headed the wrong direction, too.
But the last time it was basically a one-on-one contest, so it was very easy to get over 50%. This time you have a lot of significant candidates. Now, you mentioned Biden. I'm going to take that opening. Last night, Joe Biden should have fired his entire debate prep people. Fired them. They should be arrested. They should never be allowed to work in campaigns again. Joe Biden has performed worse in the presidential debates than any frontrunner in modern times. He has not had a single effective debate performance. Whatever his people are teaching him is failing. Now, on the flip side, we cannot ignore Amy Klobuchar, senator from Minnesota. She had an outstanding debate performance on Friday. It clearly added to her numbers on Tuesday. 15% of the Democratic primary and caucus vote is changing their minds in the last 48 hours. These debates absolutely matter. They took her from a distant fourth, even fifth place in some polls, to a very strong third, and she is going to be able to compete. But the one candidate that I'm still watching, because it is unclear where he goes, he's viable, and that's Mayor Pete. He is raising more money than the other candidates except for Bernie. He's got a moderate presentation for a progressive message, and a number of those states on Super Tuesday are good states for him. They have the type of Democratic voter who will like him. He's the only young candidate in this race right now.
Too young.
So he's the, by the way, I don't think he gets a nomination. I don't think he gets a nomination. But he is a player in this.
Okay, so
it sets him up to be a VP candidate?
Maybe. But no, we all focused on Elizabeth Warren when she was leading, and then you took a good look at her, and it's like, whoa. And then you all focused on Biden. He's leading, and then all of a sudden you take a good look at him. And I think the same thing happens probably to Amy Klobuchar. She's not going to be the nominee either, I don't think. So I don't know who. It's probably Bloomberg. But then
No, it can't. It's not going to be
billionaire, right? Because a billionaire.
I'll say it here. All right. Mike Bloomberg is going to get a significant number of delegates on Super Tuesday. He's got the money. He's got a message. He's got a record. But there are too many Democrats in our polling and focus groups, too many of them, that will not vote for a billionaire. And with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren explicitly attacking them, Bloomberg can get up to 35, even 40% of the delegates. I don't see a path for him to get to the majority, 50%.
He gets 35 to 40% of the delegates. What does that mean to anybody else? I mean, again, you're talking about a contested convention, at which point the rules are, who knows?
And then watch what happens, because the superdelegates cannot vote on the first ballot, but they can on the second.
Yeah.
And those superdelegates are wired against Bernie Sanders. You will see an eruption like we haven't seen.
So maybe Bloomberg can get it that way. I mean, that's if you look through it, that's got to be what Bloomberg's team is thinking his path is.
But you'll have a Democratic Party that is more torn apart than any year since 1968. It will be a disaster for them, and I want to leave you with one message. The most important question on any poll right now, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? According to Gallup, 61% say yes, only 32% say no. These are the best numbers for any candidate seeking re-election in 6 election cycles, 25 years.
They need a composite. They need a composite candidate right now, and I've been saying this for a while. They need, the electability and experience of Biden. The youthful and articulate, presentations of Pete Buttigieg.
Who's that person?
There isn't one.
Well, that's why you
get a ticket. Bloomberg's competence and pragmatism. Put it all together. I could make a drawing.
That's why you have a ticket. If you can find 2 of them who check off most of those boxes. I don't know.
And who's the end result, Frank? Give me. I want to know. I want you on predicted. It's Bernie Sanders. That he's going to get the nomination right now. He's well ahead of anyone else in the betting markets.
And I think he's got the lead, and that's why you have a vice presidential candidate that usually balances these people. That's why you have to look at Sanders trying to find a woman. And by the way, this is really important. We assumed that Elizabeth Warren's vote would transfer back and forth between Bernie Sanders. What actually happened is that her vote transfers back and forth with Amy Klobuchar. That there is a significant percentage of the female vote in the Democratic Party that wants a woman nominated, and we assume that it was all about ideology. No. For about 15% of the female vote, it's about gender, and that's another reason why Amy Klobuchar did so well last night.
So could Sanders pick a VP that would allow him to win the presidency?
Yes, I think it is way too close to call. Most surveys have the Democrats winning the popular vote, but Donald Trump doing very well among those swing states that he needed. I think we could be setting ourselves up for exactly what happened in 2016. The Democrats win the popular vote, and Donald Trump wins the Electoral College.
Really going to happen in November, isn't it? We'll know all these things.
Then what will we talk about?
Aren't you glad you grew up to be who you are, Luntz? Just because of this election? I mean, this is going to be unbelievable, right?
This is going to be the best election in my lifetime. I owe someone for that. I'm going to have to shave at some point so I can feel the people.